3 stages of liver detox. What is that? What does that mean?
Yes. So this is actually critical to understand because this is what's missing in many detox programs that are out there. Such as, I think we all, when we think of the detox program, maybe the first thing that pops in our mind is the juice cleanse.
The juice cleanse. And I gotta tell, this is not a juice cleanse.
It's not a juice cleanse.
People literally complain about the amount of eating actually in this one. Like, people are like, I'm not used to eating this much food. I usually kind of starve myself half the day, or I live on caffeine. And I think that's one of the reasons we've talked about this, that like people's skin will just have this like shiny, fresh, like waxy apple complexion to it, because we're actually nourishing ourselves and our cells aren't all dehydrated and limp. There's this volume and shininess that comes pretty soon after you start this. So there's food, lots of food. It is not a juice cleanse. But yes.
So the thing though that's missing from the juice cleanse, soup cleanses that are out there, maybe different supplement companies and the powders and the supplement packets and their concentrated detox program, is that they're missing the boat usually on taking you through the 3 essential phases of liver detox. What a lot of programs do really well is they encourage the first phase of liver detox, which is opening up the fat stores where we safely store a lot of toxins.
So that's the juice cleanse version.
This is the juice cleanse version if it's not concentrated correctly with the right nutrients in the right order, as we have on week 2 of 21 Slow. So the first phase, you open up the fat stores because you're reducing calories, you have fat restriction and protein restriction, you get a lot of antioxidants in, the fat cells open up, we're releasing a lot of toxins that are metabolites of toxins that were once taken in. So they're not the same, they're actually more wild and harmful as their metabolites, but they've been safely stored in the fat cells. So we reduce calories, we give our body the right nutrients, we open up the fat stores, we release these toxic metabolites into our bloodstream, and they're running around trying to pair up with electrons, and we won't go too much into that, although I love to nerd out on the science behind it. But they're looking to get out of the body or pair up and be stabilized. They're kind of running around creating a lot of damage in the process. We need phase 2 to come in to turn those fat-soluble toxic metabolites into water-soluble so that in phase 3 they can flush out of the body. So phase 1, opening up the fat cells, letting these toxic metabolites wild into the system. They're creating a lot of damage. We got to quickly convert them to water soluble in phase 2 so that in phase 3 we can flush them out via the urine, via the colon and our stools, via sweat. So it's really important to keep all of the channels of elimination open, which is where all of the components of 21 Slow come into play. It's not just about food, it's about movement, it's about the lymphatic system, it's about breath work. Breath is a way that we exchange and release toxins and get oxygen circulating around our body. So there's so much to this program that's hitting on the 3 phases.
And I will say, in my experience, it was interesting how you described that, because here's what you experience. Week 1, you're eating a lot of cruciferous vegetables, a lot of things of that nature, and I actually felt a little bloat. And I started freaking out. I was like, Taylor, I don't want to gain weight from this. She's like, hold steady. You know, all of this stuff is circulating in your body right now. And so then came the second and third phases where that was the release. And all of a sudden I was like, okay, now I really feel like, all of that's out. It really felt great. So, in order to do this, we have to be careful about what we're consuming. And that's why we do follow, it sounds like a strict diet, because there's no gluten, corn, soy, dairy, sugar,
caffeine
alcohol.
If you can, although we have modified versions with caffeine, alcohol, sugar.
Please know. You do not have to give up
with us if you are a coffee drinker and that's what's going to hold you back.
Now, people say these things like, there's no such thing as resetting, and detox isn't, your body naturally does it. You don't need to do a detox. What do you say to that?
Yes. So in a world without chemicals and modern day advances and EMFs and all of the signals and things that we get exposed to on a daily basis in our own homes, from off-gassing of furniture and our whatever we're using for pillows and different materials in our bedding, to the sprays and the chemicals that we're using in our home, and then you step outside and it's pollution and gas and exhaust, and we are overburdened and overexposed nowadays. Maybe back in the primitive era where there weren't so many chemicals and toxins, yes, our body is pretty remarkable. It has so many different systems that know how to take care of itself and heal and keep us in a good place, keep our pH levels balanced, keep things filtering through. We're just putting too much in. As far as toxins, as far as food, we don't have a shortage of food here in America. In other countries, yes. Not here. Food is available on every single corner. You have the fast food joints, you have Starbucks. Our problem is not that. It's just our indulgence in different chemicals and toxins. We're being overexposed. Our body can't keep up. And doing something concentrated like this can force us to go through these phases of liver detox to help assist what's not naturally happening anymore.